What are you saying, Dr. Penny? In other words, most of us are trying to find something that really does not care about our significance in the first place. We are trying to find something that could never elementally take us into the next level and could never really help us. You can't eat them. You really can't do anything with them but put burden on them. Y'all not talking to me in here. That's all they're good for, is carrying you. But they can't even really, watch this, take you uphill because they don't have the knowledge because they're dumb. I was looking for people dealing with people like that, spending our life going around in circles with the same folks. And God is saying, I'm trying to change your way of thinking. The text says that he tells him, he says, listen, he says, tomorrow about this time I'm going to send a man out of the land of Benjamin. And you shall anoint him to be captain over my people Israel. He's going to save the people out of the hand of the Philistines. I have looked upon my people because their cry is come unto me. So now Samuel is not really happy, but he respects what God says. And the text says that God tells him, he says, I'm going to allow you to anoint him. And when you anoint him, because this man comes from the tribe of Benjamin, which in estimation, according to the other tribes, was one of the worst tribes that there were, because they aided the Sodomites. When God got ready to come against them, the Sodomites were the homosexuals that God was getting ready to kill. Just one chapter over, the Benjamites stood up to fight for them. And so Saul was offended with his tribe, and he was embarrassed because his tribe represented him. And this tribe was looked upon from then on as a negative people that had gone against God. Then they were left-handed, which made them different in how they handled things. Tell somebody who God is calling in this hour doesn't do things like other people. No, they're cutting edge. They have a different mindset. You understand? They're not doing things in a stereotypical sense. They have a different concept of what church is. They have a different concept of what people think they should be. Tell somebody left-handed. And so now understand that he finds himself now encountering this young man just as God said he would. And he takes Saul and he anoints him with oil and tells him that the Lord has anointed me in this 10th chapter of 1 Samuel to be captain over his inheritance. He says, now what I need to explain to you is that God has instructed me to confirm and affirm that you are who he has chosen, because in your mind, Saul, because of your tribe and where you come from, you have inadequacies and you feel like you are not worthy. You have this mentality that the only way you're going to be successful is staying back at daddy's house looking after his asses. But God is going to confirm and reaffirm to you that you are his man. Just look at somebody and tell them, say, neighbor, God's getting ready to prove tonight that I am who he has called. In spite of the stuff, he's going to prove that I'm who he's called. Tell somebody, I got a lot of things going on, but I know that he called me. How many of you know he called you tonight? And so the Bible says, he tells him, he says, I'm going to anoint you. He said, and here is what you need to understand. Several things are going to happen. 3 things to confirm that God has chosen you. He said the first thing is going to happen. He says 2 men are going to pass by Rachel's sepulchre in the border of Benjamin. And the asses that you're looking for, they're going to let you know that they've been found and that your father is not angry about the ashes being lost anymore, but in fact he's more concerned now about you. The Lord was letting me know the first thing I need to let you know when I call you, I align your household, I make your family okay with what I'm getting ready to do. I cause them to respect whether they accept it or not. I cause them to to respect the call that's on your life. Tell somebody, you might not like me, but you need me. He says, I'm going to have now this as a first order of affirmation. He said the second thing that's going to happen is you'll arrive at the oak of Tabor, and there you'll meet 3 men going up to Bethel to worship. One carrying 3 young goats, the other carrying 3 sacks of bread, and the other a jug of wine. He says they're going to speak to you. You're going to speak back and be amicable. He said, and they're going to offer you 2 loaves of bread. I want you to accept it. In other words, God said, not only am I going to cause your house to become in agreement with you, but I'm also going to cause the world to sow into you. Because where there is vision, there will be provision. I need you to understand that the bread represents the word. I'm going to equip you for the journey. Tell somebody, when I don't have nothing else, I got a word in my belly. When I don't have nothing else, I got a praise on my lips. I might not be everything that I'm getting ready to be, but I got a praise that causes hell to shut up. He says, now the last thing that God is going to do to confirm that you're his man, he says, now you'll come to Gibeah, and approaching Gibeah, you'll find yourself entering their Philistine garrison. He said, you're going to see now a bunch of prophets coming down from the shrine playing harps, tambourines, flutes, and drums, and they'll be prophesying. And before you know it, the Spirit of God, Saul, is going to fall upon you. Can you imagine how Saul felt me? The ones that they called the gay right activists. God's going to cause me to prophesy. Tell somebody that's why it's good to keep your mouth off of people, because you don't know what day God's going to transform their life. I wish I had somebody in here. And so he says, immediately you're going to find yourself prophesying along with them. He said, and I want you to know that as you prophesy, you'll become a new person right then and there. He said, and the reason God is going to do this is to let you know that whatever job you have, he's going to be with you. And whatever you speak, he's going to bring it to pass. The other thing that God will do when he is getting ready to bring you to the forefront is he's going to allow the words that come out of your mouth to line up with his will, and his will to line up with your words. Oh, come on, look at somebody and tell them, say, I prophesy tonight that everything in my household just shifted. I prophesy tonight that everything in my body just got healed. I prophesy tonight that disorder just turned into order, and chaos just turned into peace. He says, now these are 3 things that will happen, and it will allow you to know that God has chosen you. Sometimes we need a Gideon's moment to prove that God's hand is on us. I don't know how much we need of a sign to prove that God's hand is on some of us, but some of us, we have been hoarded so long and bombarded so long with what we have been through. We can't see ourselves without seeing the negative and the pain and all of the gunk and the debris and the trash that has covered our lives. So now understand that the man of God has given him this declaration and this prophetic affirmation. Just as sure as the man of God said it, these things happened. He prophesied that they would come to pass, and surely it came to pass. But now we have an issue. Saul has been changed spiritually, as the man of God said. He will be transformed. But now, here we are, my sisters and brothers, in the 21st and 22nd verse. The Bible says that now that Samuel has brought the tribes together, God has made the selection private, but now he's getting ready to bring it public forum. Sort of like a consecration service. Before you ever see the consecrated one, they had already been consecrated behind scenes. Look at somebody and tell them, I have been anointed for this for a long time. is the manifestation of years in progress. Oh, I wish I had somebody here. Look at somebody. Tell them I didn't just learn to pray. I didn't just learn how to worship. I didn't just learn how to give God glory in a hot church. I've been doing this for a long time. My life ain't always been air conditioned. I've had plenty of private summers, but I thank God that He taught me how to be what I am whenever I needed to be. And so now He has this spiritual transformation. You ever wonder what happened to folks? They get all of this prophetic word, laying on of hands, and I mean, God has proven Himself. Everything that you said, it has come to pass. I always wondered how it was that I could preach to people for years, and they could see the signs and wonders, but yet they themselves didn't change. You could see there was a spiritual change, but the emotions were still messed up. Because the text says here now that when He calls them together for God to make the public attestation with the Urim and the Thummim, with the stones that by casting lots would cause the name of the individual out of the tribes to come up, which God had already prepared. Tell somebody it's already a one fight. Yeah. It's fixed. It's already fixed. It was a fixed fight. He had the selection process, caused the tribe of Benjamin to come near by their families, the family of Benjamin. None of that was going to be picked. It was going to be Saul. We already knew that God had said it, but now what God has to do is He has to prove to man what He's already established in heaven. Can I tell you that God is getting ready to establish some stuff in the earth realm? Because He's got to shut some folks' mouths that said that God didn't say it, God ain't going to do it, God's not going to give it to you. I wish I had somebody in here. Tell somebody I am heaven's poster child, because everything God said He's going to do, He's going to do just that. And He's going to use me in the process. And when they came, the son of Saul was selected. Fell on Saul. He's the man. But when they looked for him, he could not be found. Wait a minute. You had just finished prophesying with the school of the prophets. You have just been sown into. You have just been released. Reconciliation has come to your home. Everything that you've been praying for has come to pass. And now that God is ready to put you to work, we can't find you. The Bible says, therefore they began to inquire of him. Say, Lord, if the man should yet come hither, where is it? If this is who you chose, where is the man? And the Lord answered, behold, he had hidden himself among the stuff. He has hoarded himself. He has allowed what he has been through to give him a false impression of what God says he is. You mean to tell me that God can change me spiritually, but I still have emotional hang-ups? Tell somebody, hoarding. As God shared this with me, He said, understand Saul's dilemma. Saul understood that God called him, and he realized that God had proven himself. Is there anybody in here that God has ever proven himself to, and you knew without a doubt that God was with you? Can I see your hands? But then how many of you all that have been proven to by God that He's with you are actually walking in what He has called you to walk in? Can I tell you why many of you ain't walking in it? Because you're hiding behind the stuff. You're allowing what you have been through and how you see yourself. Let me help you. That God never looks at what you've been through to make you who you are, but he looks at what he has spoken, and this is what he creates you into. Saul began to look at his family's heritage. He began to look at how the other folks were viewing him. Surely nobody's going to want a farmer's son to lead them. Surely nobody's going to want an ex-crackhead preaching over them. Nobody's going to believe a prostitute could evangelize and change people's lives. Nobody's going to believe that God has delivered me from an alternate lifestyle. And so Saul began to do what we have done. He began to hoard himself, hide behind his stuff. He rather has stayed home with his father because he was comfortable there. He was familiar with tending to the asses. He was familiar with his father's farm. And what God was saying is, I'm trying to break your spirit of familiarity because it's closing you in. It's stagnating your progress. It's causing you not to be able to move forward in life. And if you stay here, Saul, you're never going to realize what it is that I have not only for you, but for people. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, it's not about me. It's not about where I've been, but it's what God says, and it's what he's getting ready to do. Come on, look at somebody and say, oh, neighbor, I need you to understand that for everything that has called me to be where I am in life, it's that very thing that I'm going to use as a stepping stone to push me into every promise that he has for my life. Come on, look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, no longer am I going to allow what people think about me. No longer am I going to allow how folks are staring at me to keep me from my destiny. I'm no longer living in my past. I'm not going to allow the spirit of hoarding to keep me bound, because God has a place beside him with my name on it. And when he chose me, he knew what he was getting when he chose me in the first place. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, he made me what I am. Come on and tell somebody, say, but I've got to be real with myself. I've got to understand that I might be a spiritual wonder, but I'm an emotional mess. And until I deal with myself, until I get myself together, I'm going to always abort the promises of God. So the earth and is looking every which way. When they were looking for a man, other folks wouldn't tell where he was. Somebody saw him, but they didn't want him. People know where you are, but they don't want you. They're jealous of you, or they're hateful. But God looked behind all of the baggage, all of the junk. He said, "There's your man. I know he got hang-ups, but I want him." Tell somebody, I want him. Come on, say it like he's sweating. Say, I want him. God is calling somebody right now. You've been hiding behind your pain, behind your past, but God said, I have need of it. I heard Jesus declare to the disciples, he said, "Go and bring me the coat, untie him, let him loose." Somebody say, "Let me loose, let me loose." And if any man asks you what you want with him, I need him. Turn to somebody and say, "You might not want me, you might not like me, but Jesus, he wants me. He wants me bad. He wants me so bad that he's walking through the clutter. He's walking through the garbage of my life. He's seeping me out through the trash. He's going through the dirt, going through the debris. Can I tell you that Jesus is looking? He's looking for you. Turn to somebody and tell them me. He's looking for me. Saul, he felt like the people would not like him, and he was right, because the Bible says that when he was chosen, when you go further down in the 26th and 27th verse, and once the Lord had exposed him and said, "This is my man," how the people would not give him a present. They didn't want to help him. They didn't want to sow into him. And the men of Belial, they had the nerve to say, "How shall this man save us?" I want you to know that's not your problem. Only a hoarder worries about stuff like that, whether they want you or not. I heard Moses tell the Lord, he said, "Lord, I got a speech impediment. I can't talk." He said, "Moses, open up your mouth and I'll speak for you." Moses said, "Lord, if I go, tell me what to say, because they ain't gonna believe in me." I dare you turn to somebody and tell them, "A neighbor, when I had the best reputation in the world, there's gonna be somebody that still ain't gonna like me. Somebody still gonna have something to say, because folks don't realize it, but it ain't them. It's the devil. It's the devil trying to kill my purpose and keep me in my stuff. But I'm coming out. I'm coming talking is mind-blowing. What God is saying in Isaiah 43 and 21, he said, I want those that said you are worthy, those that have seen your color, that have been in the messes and the recesses of your life. I want them to see you now. Let them see that I don't carry Samsonite no more, but I'm wearing Gucci luggage. I got everything that God has called me to be. I'm not concerned about where I came from. My mind, I got an eye single on my purpose, on his will, and I'm coming from behind the stuff. Tell somebody I'm coming from behind the stuff. I'm walking out of it. No more am I a victim. No more am I a victim. I ain't nobody's victim. I'm victory's secret. Tell somebody I'm the victory's secret. Like it or lump it, I am God's man. Like it or lump it, I'm God's woman. Like it or lump it, this family shall be blessed. Like it or not, this ministry shall go to heights unknown. And there shall be glory. There shall be glory. There shall be glory. Tell somebody there shall be glory. Come on, tell somebody I'm coming, I'm coming. I'm coming from behind the stuff. Oh, come on, I need you to grab about 3 people on your row. I need you to tell them I'm coming, I'm coming. Not another day. No more excuses. No, 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 no. Pain ain't gonna be my vehicle. No, 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 no. I ain't surfboarding on yesteryear's experience. I got a life to live. I got another world. Oh, y'all not talking to me in here. As the world turns, I'm gonna let my enemy get restless. Say yes. Say yes. Open your mouth and power shift. Power shift your home. It's unleashed. It's gone crazy. It's gone mad. Open your mouth. Hell is trembling. Hell is hallelujah. You call it on my own shit. You call it on my somebody. Say, I thought I could trust me, but when I turn around and start proclaiming and declaring what God's gonna do, me, myself, and I call a meeting on me. Y'all ain't help it. And they begin to rehearse and remind me of where I used to be, what I used to do. Well, I heard somebody say, I came to Jesus just as I was, weary, wounded, and sad. I found in Him a resting place. Rest, baby. Somebody say rest, rest, rest. Anoint yourself and say the hoarding is over. Just when I thought I could trust myself, there go old me, dropping bits and pieces all over my life. Drop here, drop there, everywhere. Drop. I thought that I'd be okay. I thought that if I walked away from folks, that I'd be all right. But I realized that it was me who was making the clutter. I realized it was me that couldn't get past me. And now I know another story. I heard Grandma used to sing a song. She said, because He lives, I can face tomorrow. Because He lives, all fear, Nikki is gone. Now I know who holds, oh Lord, who holds my future. I ain't even responsible for my future. I don't care how much you go to school. My life, Bishop, my life is in His hand. I had to clean up around my own front door. I had to go inside, clean up in the bedroom, clean up in the living room. The testimony that the things I used to do, I'm talking about what I used to do to myself. I did myself an injustice. I had to sit down with self, and what did self say, Saul? Saul said, I had to say to my soul, don't worry, the Lord will make a way somehow. Look at somebody and tell them, say, the Lord has healed the hoarder in me. Oh, y'all know what it's about. Come on, turn to somebody and tell them, say, hey, neighbor. You've been acting like it's a B3. Come on, say, the Lord has healed the hoarder in me. Come on, turn to somebody and tell them, now celebrate with me. If you're really happy for me, celebrate with me. That my house Turn to somebody and tell them power shift. Unleashed. I won't tell them everything is going bad. Because I done messed around and got free.